Come and fly away with me.
Hello everyone, my name is Towak and welcome back to Foreign Film Fridays. And out to the film of the day is City of God, Seda de Deus, if my Portuguese is correct. The film is directed by Fernando Meirelles and Lund. These were the two directors that created the film. And the film is actually a movie I've watched multiple times, like 6 times already. This is like a 6th time of watching City of God. And is the movie has been compared to have the similarities of Martin Scorsese's Goodfellas, but more of like in the Brazilian culture, the Brazilian lifestyle and how it is. The opening shot of the film is something I find it very iconic, and the film was opened with a technique which is called the whirling camera. The technique of that show is the whirling camera, where we see Rocket stuck in the middle of both Lil Z, or Lil Dice if you want to call him, but it goes by Lil Z by this point, and Lil Z and the police, where he's stuck in the middle of the violence between those two, as he finds himself stuck in that too. And as we're stuck in that moment, the camera does this awesome camera technique of going around and around, and we go back in time to like the original, like the backstory of how we got to this stage. First of all, The City of God, the movie, is based on a book which was written by the author. The author basically was writing about his life, about growing up in the favelas of Brazil, which in saying is the favelas is basically meaning the slums of the slums. It shows the film really does a good job in showing you how it is, like the poor are being isolated and out of the city life. They are being isolated while the rich are being still kept in the city. City of God is just that film that you watch and you marvel about. I enjoyed experiencing like the Brazilian culture, the music was phenomenal and everything. But you can clearly see that the main story behind this film is basically to tell you the film is trying to tell the Brazilian people, most importantly, about the circle of violence. Like violence, I'm not sure I'm using the word correctly, but I don't know why this word has been stuck in my head. This not word, but like statement has been stuck in my head. Like violence begot violence, something like that. Like there's always this circle of violence over and over again. As we see, it started with the Rocket's brother Goose, Shaggy, and I can't remember the last guy's name, but I keep on forgetting. But those 3 guys were like the main hood guys back in the day in City of God, where they were robbing people and all that. But they did have a rule about not killing people, like the circle of violence continue. Like Little Dice at that point, which Little Z was Little Dice at that point when he was young, he joined that gang, and it was like the key, like he wanted to grow, he wanted to be, the younger generation wanted to be what the main guys wanted to be. They wanted to be ahead already. They were hungry for that. They had that hunger in them. And in that operation where you can see where they went to the hotel, which was a plan that was made by Little Dice. Little Dice gave them the plan of them robbing people in the hotel, which they actually did. But at the end of the day, we knew if you watch the movie, you see that it turns to a very very dire situation that had the police hunting down for the three guys, Shaggy, Goose, and the other guy. Can't remember his name. But you see that whole dynamic. Little Dice was so hungry to already be in the step of where the older guys were. He was so hungry that he would do anything, and he did everything he could to get to that point. As the older hoodlums were basically wiped out, Little Dice took over tried to step up as the main gangster, but he found out that there's still other people that in City of God that were still in charge, like Carrot, like Blackie, and so much more. But as we follow Little Z, as that point as he got older, he became Little Z, and we follow that point. We see that the hunger continued to follow. He kept on pushing. He kept on pushing, and he kept on pushing to the point where he did everything he could to become the main guy, in the main guy of the gangsters in City of God. I really liked. They had some very awesome stories. Like also the story of Rocket. I found Rocket's story to be very funny too, because Rocket after they transitioned to like the teenage Rocket. It was no more a child. It was more okay. After the transition to the teenage Rocket, where Rocket was in school, he had this desire to be a photographer. He loved the camera, and he had this desire to be a photographer. So behind I would say, yeah, the main there was like a main message behind this film, which was trying to point that, like I was saying, that violence began violence. There was a story of like when Lil Z was so hungry and power obsessed to the point where like he was wiping out people, and also he had one of the actions that led to, like, his violence led to another additional creation of another person, which was Knockout Ned. Knockout Ned was someone who was from City of God, a cool guy, but Little Z was very interested in his girlfriend, and the girlfriend was not interested in Little Z. So Little Z did something very, very drastic, and that affected Knockout Ned to the point where he would do anything to see Lil Z dead. And he had more of like a more humble approach to joining the hoodlums. He just wanted revenge for all the things that Lil Z took from him. He lost a lot, and he wanted revenge for all that. So he joined Carrot's gang, which was an opposing gang to Lil Z. But as we see that, even though you come here with the pure intention in mind, that you cannot shake off that desire, the violence. You can't shake off that desire of like violence is obviously going to turn out to the more, because Knockout Ned had a rule when he joined Carrot's hoodlums that he would never kill an innocent person, but his stuff led to he killed someone in the bank setting when they were robbing a bank, and that little moment there led to his downfall, because that little moment of violence he showed affected the life of a young boy, and that boy also wanted to seek revenge. Like I said before, violence begot violence, and we see this cycle continue, and that's what the author of the book and also the filmmakers actually did in showing very well. Like we see the whole circle of violence; it never keeps on stopping. And also in the ending, we see, even though Knockout Ned and Lil Z were dead, and the police had arrested Carrot, we saw that the next generation, that ending shot is one of the most important thing I've seen, because we can see, you will see that as one was like, I know there's like this Hydra saying, cut off the head of one Hydra, two more will grow, like in the Hercules Disney movie or something like Hercules Disney movie. And just that was the way it was for like City of God. Even though they removed one person in charge or two people in charge, there was always going to be another head that would take over. The younger generation was so eager to have that desire of violence. City of God is really an amazing film, and also the editing alone was phenomenal. The opening edit of where we have the knife being sharpened, and it's just being cut. We get that little black out, and all that stuff was epic. Even the twirling into the past, everything. The film has won multiple awards for the editing style, and which shows that you can see that you enjoy the storytelling. City of God has that. This editing style helps to the story, because we feel that I don't know how to explain it, but you feel that sense of adrenaline when you're watching City of God. There's this like tense moments in City of God that you can sense, and it shows the editing style actually does in helping you feel that type of emotion, which I found was pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Wow, City of God. To be honest, I can sit here all day and talk a lot about City of God. But I would suggest y'all need to watch City of God. It's a Brazilian film, and it's one of the most epic ones ever. I see, favorite Brazilian film I've ever watched. And I've watched a pretty decent amount of Brazilian films. I would still say City of God. Actually, the story, the plot, everything is phenomenal. Top shit. Also, the soundtrack was amazing. There had some groovy James Brown songs, some Brazilian songs in there, which I found was pretty awesome.